She's the one, a masterpiece. Close to the gods. She's the one, a masterpiece.
Hi, my name is Gabriele. I am a growth investor with Inovia Capital, originally Lithuanian, lived kind of all over the world, even including some places, random places like Texas, having grown up in the family of doctors. I do focus on digital health software as a VC. So Inovia Capital, we are a full stack firm and support entrepreneurs really through every stage from seed to IPO. We have offices in Canada, San Francisco, London. We're a really international firm backing founders with global ambitions. And in Europe, we only do growth stage. Successful founders, I really found, have continuously to learn and stay open to failures, especially at the growth stage, when really building companies and achieving that next stage of growth. And the founder is really succeeding with the important amounts of fundraising. It's really crucial to stay grounded in order to attract the right talent that aligns with your culture, inspire the right motivations, right, and values in the people around you to really that everything the company does, there's diversity at every stage and every level. For instance, last year with COVID, this year with economic environment that we're in, and really over many cycles in the past few decades, we've seen founders entering in really this crisis management mode. And I think one of the very best founders and investors I've met and had a chance to work with really welcome such challenges, that because in those sort of situations, you can actually really test the loyalty of your employees, managers, testing investor support, right? Customers' real need for the product as well, and when the times are tough. And I think those are excellent opportunities to learn. So humility really allows to build companies that flourish in their levels of diversity. From an investor perspective, I think, sometimes investors really say, oh, across all my portfolio companies, we don't have enough diversity, right? But it really comes down to being at that board meeting. And that's where those conversations have to start to really inflict that change. For instance, hiring practices are really key and an excellent starting point to kind of hire a more diverse talent base. Even every potential partnership, even, existing candidate base, existing kind of employees or customers can really help improve those diversity levels. If there's enough kind of organizational emotional intelligence to really receive it. For example, one of the deal flow companies we looked at, some interviewed employees cited that the company was a boys club, right? Which was very interesting feedback post the due diligence process to provide the founder. But the founder was quite actually grateful to receive such feedback. And I am aware that he's actually working on changing that perception within the company. So it's really those small things, right? And being open and learning what you got to know during that due diligence process, for instance, are keys to improve diversity levels at any organization. So the best and probably the only way I have found to truly learn about the business inside out is when I assume literally I know nothing about the business, right? In the first meeting. I have found that instead of kind of trying to bridge the gaps and show off a bit your knowledge in the space because of previous companies that you may have met, it's really much better to resort to that listening mode. Today, due diligence processes or learning about the startups process, right, is brutally short. Like a lot of founders expect term sheets quite fast, which is not a bad thing, right? But that just means that every minute counts, and every question, every kind of information shared, you have to be really, really perceptive and receive any sort of crucial information shared there. And then I've also found that actually this is the key way to show founders respect about their business. So, while business models can be quite similar, no business is really the same. For instance, when we were looking at clinical trial companies in different European countries, it was interesting to see that, for instance, very extremely similar startups in France and Germany within the clinical trial space had completely different sales cycles, processes, the way they conducted their kind of on-site operations, the way their contracts were structured, simply, because those were ingrained deeply in their own cultures and their own kind of country systems and kind of bureaucracies, right? So I think it's really, really key to never kind of assume. So I think it's never really key to assume anything about the business. Yeah, sure. So funny story. Around a decade ago, when I lived in Texas, I had my whole kind of understanding of the world challenged, which I think helps me till today to have a constantly this inquisitive attitude. As you can imagine, lots of different stories about Texas that I've heard even before getting there, and stereotypes about their way of living, their values, their culture, which is very strong, right? To live in and attend education, go to work. And I felt constantly challenged in my way of thinking, the way we kind of do things in Europe, right? So really that sharing European values required a lot of communication and a lot of just listening, not judging, not asking why we do things that way over there, which really helped a lot to bridge those cultural gaps and just learn a lot about, not only learn a lot actually, but also share.